Hello everyone, Pallytub here. Welcome back to Diablo 3. I has some splaining to do. Normally when a new season comes out, I walk you all through the progression of my character, but this past week I've just been feeling under the weather. And to take my mind off of it, I was playing Diablo, and I progressed quite a bit. I progressed to the point where I basically have every piece of gear I could want for my character. So there's going to be a long build up in this video. At the bottom of the screen there will be a time when combat starts, and you're more than welcome to skip ahead if you don't want to hear all the long drawn out explanation of what my character is good at and how I got to this point. But essentially, I don't remember if I ever actually explained it. In the new season 5, we are given different pieces of loot. I have a dog barking in the background. Different pieces of loot for accomplishing certain objectives in some of the chapters. So it starts out in chapter 3. If you reach level 70, blah blah blah, you get a free piece of loot. Now this only happens one time. So this loot was rewarded to my demon hunter. I did the other objectives too in chapter 4, and I got the Shadow Mantle Set. Now the Shadow Mantle Set, while equipped, our melee weapon does a shit ton of damage. Shadow Power gains the effect of every rune, and our Impale deals 40,000% weapon damage on the first enemy that it hits. So we are a single target killer, basically. We have some other tools in our arsenal to really up our damage. We have Focus and Restraint, which I got very, very early on. It allowed me to progress quite nicely. I have the Wraps of Clarity, which is great for our survivability. Our Hatred Generators reduce our damage taken by 32%. To go along with that, we are using the Spines of Seething Hatred, which is a quiver that allows us to throw out chakrams and generate hatred with those. So basically just a higher damage output. Pretty good. We did finally get the Carly's Point. Now this is a weapon that I had to craft, essentially. I went over to the blacksmith, I scrolled down, probably help if I was in the weapons tab. I scrolled down and I made a dagger. I made the Sovereign Punile. I didn't say any of that right, but let's not worry about that. The level 70 dagger. And then went to the cube, and if you click on the book, you can upgrade a rare item to a legendary. So it takes 25 death breath, all these materials, and the item you're trying to upgrade. Then you hit transmute, and because there's only like 3 or 4 daggers that demon hunters can actually use, you have a pretty good chance of getting this. And of course, Impale returns 11 hatred if it hits an enemy already impaled. So great for keeping our hatred up throughout the course of a greater rift where things start to get hard. My belt is the Chain of Shadows. Got this really early on as well. After using Impale, your vault costs no resources for 2 seconds. To go along with this, there is a ring that I can use. After casting Vault, we take 60% reduced damage. That's the Elusive Ring. We have it in the cube. Right now, I'm just using the Convention of Elements to increase our overall DPS. The Visage of Guns makes it so our Vengeance, which we have a 100% uptime on because of our Dawn that we also have in the cube, makes it so we gain the effect of the Dark Heart Rune. And the Dark Heart Rune on Vengeance reduces the damage that we take by 50%. With this specific gear setup that we have right now, I'm able to keep 100% uptime on Vengeance, which is a pretty significant damage increase for our character. I know that was a lot to take in all at one time. Essentially, we have Vault and Shadow Power because we gain a ton of survivability from Shadow Power because of our set piece that gives us every rune. We have Vengeance to reduce the damage that we take and also increase the damage that we can output. This is also feeding us a ton of hatred with Seethe. We gain 10 hatred per second. The Wolf Companion is used as the DPS cooldown. We activate it and increase our damage by 30% for 10 seconds. And then we just throw Impales like it's going out of style in order to finish off a target. My greater gems are the Bane of the Powerful. This is one of the first gems I got and just leveled it up because of that. Don't necessarily think I'm going to hang on to it for very long. I just finished leveling the Bane of the Trapped, which increases our damage against enemies under the effect of control of pairing effects by 22.5%. So anything that's slowed, we're going to deal more damage to. And I have a level 18 Taguk as well. That was a fucking mouthful. One of the ways that I've been progressing my character is also by going over to this little chick in Act 2, the Squirt the Peddler, and buying the Essence of Emeralds. That's why I have so many green gems. As you can see, I still need to do it, but I'm bored. Like, I was just sitting here, I was just converting gems from other colors to green. And you do that by putting the essence that you purchased from her in here, and then a gem of another kind, and it'll turn 10 of these gems into 10 green gems. And it's really, really slow. Really slow. But yeah, I was working on that. Our character's come a really, really long way, and we're essentially at a point where the only way we're going to progress my character further is by getting upgrades to the pieces that we already have. Legendary items are ones that are simply rolled better. I will say that not all of these items are necessarily rolled the exact way that I want them. For instance, these wraps of clarity could be better. These pants could definitely be better as well. There are certain things that we can improve here and there, but generally speaking, we have all of the pieces to the puzzle that we need in order to be very effective. And with all of this, I wanted to show you a level 45. This is a Torment 10 Greater Rift. In the past, we just, I always try to set a goal for each season, and in the past, the goal was simply to get to Greater Rift 50. But this season, with the power scaling and the way the new set pieces work and all that, as you can see, Greater Rift 45 is absolutely no problem from a DPS point of view. It could be an issue from a survivability point of view, but we also have tools in our arsenal that can increase our survivability if we decide to go down that line instead. But we have a ton of life on hit. Every time we attack with Impale, it's basically a free potion, more or less. So as long as I'm able to keep up DPS on enemies, we're going to stay super healthy and be super okay. As long as we chain our auto attacks, our chakram with our Impale, we have 100% uptime on focus and restraint, which is a significant DPS increase. And really, it's a very different play style, because generally speaking, with this particular setup, we're not really good at killing packs of enemies. We don't have any control. I mean, we do have a stun on our vaults, but who cares? Honestly, it's a stun on vault. It doesn't do anything. It kind of helps, but mostly vault is there for when we are using the Elusive Ring for the survivability increase. I suppose it is worth mentioning that this is a build that the YouTuber Riker at least showcased. I don't know if he came up with it or not, but I saw a guide that said this was Riker's ninja demon hunter build, and I really, really liked it, so credit out to him. He has a very well-known Diablo 3 YouTube channel, and pretty good at the game. So if you want some more insights on various classes, he doesn't stick to one class from what I can tell. I have watched his content for a while, so good general advice will be found over there. We can't pick up a shield pylon here. Again, not really going to do us too much good, because we're not really in any threat of dying to anything, even on a Greater Rift 45. So where do we progress from here? Well, quite frankly, I'm going to level a different character. In fact, I already have. I've been playing Diablo with my girlfriend, and she is playing the Thorns Crusader, so I thought it would be cool if she had a support monk by her side. So later on in the season, I will be showing off some at least 2-player rifts and trying to progress in those. I'm gonna take this character, as far as I can. It seems like I should be able to do like a Greater Rift 60, and that seems reasonable. It doesn't seem like it would be too much of a stretch of the imagination. It seems like a valid playstyle for this style of character, for this style of Demon Hunter, would be simply to hunt down packs of enemies. As you can see, like, these blue packs are dying in 1 to 2 impales. It's really nothing on Greater Rift 45, on Torment 10. It's really nothing. The issue we're running into is that in between these packs, it kind of takes exactly that long to kill the white mobs too, to kill the mobs that don't really progress rifts very far. So going in and just hunting specifically, excuse me, hunting specifically for elite packs or blue packs or whatever you want to call them, could be a strategy that we could employ to really have a unique play style here and a unique way of approaching rifts, and an equally effective way, in theory, way of approaching rifts. I said way too much there. Conduit pylon. It's funny. because the conduit pylons don't do much for me. On this difficulty, they're ripping through things pretty well, but generally speaking, like my weapon barely does any damage. If you take a look at my character sheet damage, it's really, really low. And of course, conduits deal damage based off of your weapon damage. So yeah, we're kind of walking in here and we're kind of killing stuff, but arguably I could kill all of this stuff faster with Impale. Arguably, depending on how our AoE damage kind of works out at any given time. And it's kind of the same thing with channeling pylons now as well. Channeling pylons don't actually have much merit with me as like at all, because we don't. The only thing channeling pylon allows me to do is just vault more, which, as you can imagine, isn't too terribly useful unless you're trying to get to someplace really fast. But typically with this build, slow and steady is the way to go. You don't want to get surrounded at any point. Okay, I take that back. Slow and steady is the way to go once you figure out where you're going, I guess. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted with what I want to say there. Yes, vaulting is good and it gets you to place faster, but if you do get surrounded too much, you can't kill the yellow packs that you're trying to hunt down. So I don't know. There's a bit of a yin and yang relationship there, I think. And I suppose power pylons in general, again, on this difficulty, don't really do us much good either, because the power pylon just increases our damage, and we're already at the point where we're one-shotting everything. Again, with the convection of elements, we do have about a 50% damage increase, if I remember correctly. You know, that adds on. Even though we're only using the lightning element here, it is a significant damage increase for our character, just because it's in our box. When it does cycle over to lightning, we are going to see a pretty big impact on our ability to deal damage. But even in the downtime, it's still a DPS increase. And when you have focus and restraint pushing out this much damage, in, you know, in the interim, it's pretty damn strong. Okay, so we just right click and look at his health on a Greater Rift 45, and that's all it takes. It's that easy. That is what Demon Hunters are like this season. And I can't stress enough that this was a set that we were given for free. I do have conflicting opinions of this. I mean, while it does feel really good to progress this fast, it also feels really weird to just kind of be given this amount of progress. Really, really strange, actually. Don't quite know how I feel about it. Now, obviously, we can make our characters significantly better. I do need a Hellfire Amulet. The necklace we have right now is not that good, and Hellfires can help progress character quite nicely, as long as you get the passives rolled on the Hellfire Amulet that you actually need. And again, with my blood shards, let's go ahead and close this. What I am doing with these blood shards is just leaving games and then trying to roll support items that I need for a healing monk. That I am bringing in to just do some co-op stuff. So look forward to videos of the monk in the future. But I don't know how much farther we can actually carry the Demon Hunter. You know what I mean? It seems like we've progressed very, very, very quickly. And I'm sorry that I didn't involve you guys on that progression a bit more. Like I said, I wasn't feeling well over the past week, so I was just kind of chilling out, playing video games by myself, staying pretty mellow. And just happened to get a lot done in that week. There we go. We got the Inna's chest. I think I need the Inna's gloves as well. All right, that's all for now. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I do have some more stuff I want to show you with the Demon Hunter. For instance, the set dungeons I think could be really cool. I've never attempted one. I know that in order to do a set dungeon, I have to venture out to Leoric's Manor and then find a clue on where my specific set dungeon is. So I'll go ahead and try to do that right now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.